Hi you guys, how are you all? I hope that you're doing well. I missed you guys last week. I was taking a bit of like a mental health break and just kind of like relaxing and trying to stay entertained. We're going on like week 3 of being inside because of the air quality. So that has been rough to say the least. But today we're going to be playing with some exciting products from a brand that I'm excited to be talking about from like an affordability standpoint, and then also just like personally. It was a brand that I used a lot in middle school and high school when I was first getting into makeup. So kind of a surreal, weird moment when they send you product and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like one of the first makeup brands that I used to buy. So I'm excited to be talking about that. But I'm just going to start with my base today and then we'll introduce those new products. I am having a bit of a skin moment, to say the least. I can zoom you guys in, or maybe you can just see right now, but my chin is really suffering. And I'm getting some breakouts like around my nose, around my lips. I really think it's like a combination of things. One, I've just always been acne prone, and then 2, these fires, the air quality. We're wearing a lot heavier duty of masks now. So yeah, so my skin is going through it, but we're okay. So I'm just gonna apply some of the Wildfire skin food to areas that are a little bit drier. It's kind of funny, usually when I break out, those areas actually don't tend to be too oily. They tend to be pretty dry and grab onto product because of that. So I'm just kind of putting a little layer of Wildfire skin food down because I know that that really helps to hydrate my skin and it doesn't break me out. And again, I just apply a very small amount of that. And although we are talking about more affordable brands today, I'm going to be using the Westman Atelier foundation because I'm going to be applying it more like a concealer, and I feel like this just melts into my skin so nicely, especially when I'm having breakouts. I also saw that they expanded their shade range, which I thought was great that they made that a real priority, and that was sort of their next launch. So if you guys weren't able to find a shade before, check it out again. Let me know, what do you guys think of the shade range? I'm just focusing this mainly in the areas where, like I said, I'm breaking out. And because I do have very sensitive skin right now in terms of acne and all of that congestion, I'm going to be very minimal with the amount of product that I use. I haven't been wearing any makeup like since the last time I filmed a video. So I've really been giving my skin as much of a break as possible. So like I said, there's been a little bit of wear and tear on my skin, and then just emotionally it's been a little draining. So I haven't been sleeping super well, meaning that concealer is definitely something that will help brighten my mood today. So I'm just going to place a little bit of concealer underneath my eyes just to kind of like lift that area. Let me know how you guys are doing down in the comments. Anyone in Portland, in Oregon, gosh, I feel for you. These fires are just absolutely crazy. And then a little extra around my nose. Again, I sort of have that redness there. Okay, so you can still see my skin through that. It's very lightweight. Breakouts aren't completely covered, so they're not like suffocated by products. My skin just feels like my skin, but with a little bit of correction, so that's nice. I'm just going to do a little bit of pencil work with my Eco Brow pencil. I actually talked about this in what would be my last video because I didn't see you guys last week, which was my August favorite. So you guys can check out more about this pencil there. For whatever reason today though, I'm having this issue where the pencil keeps falling out. That hasn't happened to me before. A little bit annoying. Then as always, just a little bit of brow gel to lock that in place. This is an Eco Brow product as well. So I'm going to be talking today about Physicians Formula products. Again, these were sent to me and this is part of their Physicians Formula organic wear line. And like I said, it's a bit of a surreal moment to be receiving product from them because they were actually one of the first drugstore brands that I used to buy from in middle school and high school. My sister actually used to use their loose powder, and if you are a little sister then you will understand this. You want to do pretty much everything that your older sisters do. So I always wanted to buy that powder, and when I started to wear makeup, that was kind of my first like foundation purchase, and I wore that all throughout high school. That was like the only foundation product that I ever wore, and I've tried their mascara and other products from them. So I was really excited to check these out. So I have here a highlighter, bronzer, blush, and then a lip product. And again, they're all from their organic wear collection. Physicians Formula is a really nice drugstore conscious beauty brand. I know that there are some others like Burt's Bees. I don't know if you would consider Well People a drugstore brand because they are carried in some drugstores. If you guys have some good brands that are more affordable, more along the lines of Physicians Formula and maybe Burt's Bees, let me know down in the comments so that people can check them out. But we're going to be testing out these new products today. This will be first impressions. I definitely need some bronzer right now because this summer has been pretty much all inside. So I have gotten no summer tan, which is okay, but I'm starting to look a bit like Casper the Friendly Ghost. So needing a little something going on, and I'm hoping that this will work. It is a bit of a warm brown color, so I'm going to be cautious when I first apply it, and I'm going to be applying it with my fingers from the stick instead of just drawing it on just for the first couple go around so I understand how pigmented it is. And I like to start up in my hairline. Like I said, definitely a warm bronzer. This is probably the warmest that I can get away with. There's definitely a little bit of a red undertone to it, so I definitely have to take it back into my hairline and be sensitive to how much I apply. I think this would actually make a really pretty shadow color though. I'm gonna do some like loose bronzing slash contouring with it. Again, I'm just building this up really slowly. And I think with bronzing, with contouring, the less you come down, in my opinion, the better. So I go down as far as I can without kind of like hitting the like apex of the curve. Is that maybe a good way to describe it? The apex of the curve? I don't know. Like this point of my cheek. So I stop it like right before that. So that's some light contouring on that side. I'm going to do this side. I feel like I have a bit of a better understanding of the coverage, so I'm just going to dab it directly onto my skin. And because I have dry skin, I do find that blending it with my fingers works best. I can just tell with this product if I used a brush, I think it would be too patchy. And if you do have dry skin like me and you want to use a cream product, try using it with your fingers because the warmth of your fingers can really help to blend it in and not sort of disrupt your skin or snag on dry areas as much as a brush might. Or always feel free to mix a product with a little bit of moisturizer if it's really clinging. I'm surprised by how I don't really mind the warmth of this bronzer. I usually go for cool tones just because of my skin tone, but this is working pretty nice. Take a little on the bridge of my nose. Okay, so that's the bronzer pretty much done. I'm going to take some on my eyes, and this I'm just going to apply directly. Like this would be a very pretty brown for fall. It kind of has, like I said, that like terracotta-y undertone. Okay, I'm going to carefully put the lid back on. I already like smudged this everywhere and made the packaging gross. Always frustrating. And then I'm going to grab this blush. Now this is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Dewy Blush Elixir. So I'm excited about this because I actually really enjoy liquid blushes. Cream and liquid products are pretty much my favorite. I'm not a big powder product person. I already sort of swatched this on the back of my hand to get a sense of how much to use, and one pump is plenty. So I'm just gonna pump it out. It's a very pretty kind of dusty rose color. What I am curious about is to see how well it dries down because the formula itself actually reminds me a little bit of the Gressa illuminating blushes. I'm totally blanking on the names, but I love those. But the reason it reminds me of that is because there's sort of this like oily dew to it, and I'm curious how it's actually gonna set. I'm just gonna start at the apples of my cheeks and kind of blend it into the bronzer. I haven't personally tried the Cosmetics liquid blushes, but just based on the way that these look and the finish of them, I feel like this might be a great dupe. Really, really love the finish of liquid blushes. They just look like ethereal and dewy and very natural. So there's not a ton of pigment to this product. It is going to be interesting to see if it sets though, because it's not, even when I like press it in, it doesn't quite feel like it's setting. I'm also going to apply a little bit of this to my eyes, just on kind of the outer corners. This blush is already giving me, as you can see, quite a highlight. So So I'm tempted not to use this product, but I do want to show it to you guys, and so maybe I'll apply just a little bit. This is the Physicians Formula Dewy Highlighter with jojoba oil. This is a very pretty like fall palette that I have going on in the back of my hand right now. This is like a very pink, again, rose highlight. I think this would actually be really beautiful on deeper skin tones. It might be a tiny bit too dark for me, so I'm gonna apply it sparingly. So I can definitely use this lightly, but I think I need a slightly lighter tone highlight. It also just shows up a bit too metallic-y for my taste. It is nice and pigmented though. And you guys know I'm not a fan of really sparkly highlights, and this is definitely not that. It gives your skin like a bit of a sheen. You can really, it really picks up on camera too. So I'm gonna apply this to my eyelids as well. I think for me, I'll probably use it more this way in the future as an eyeshadow or an eyeshadow base. I think my cheeks have set a little bit at this point, but they're still definitely very dewy. They're not like tacky or sticky to the touch, but I don't feel like it's completely dry. I don't know if that's even the intent of this product. The description says that the blush is meant to be like long-lasting dew, so definitely accomplishing its goal. I do just worry about like transferring or smudging, but it has set a little. Next, I'm gonna actually be using a new product again, not from Physicians Formula. This was kindly sent to me from Aaliyah to try out. I'm gonna be doing like a full like all day review over on Instagram of this, but this is the new Kosas, the Big Clean Mascara, and I've heard really mixed reviews, so we're gonna give it a try. The actual like tube itself is extraordinarily heavy, probably the heaviest mascara tube that I've ever felt, and I don't really know why. Immediately though, I love the shape of the wand because this reminds me a lot of Maybelline Falsies mascara. So let's give this a try. I know I talked to you guys a little bit about the marketing campaign behind this that I was kind of curious and confused about, and it sounded like you guys were a little bit too. Definitely this top part, that's the heaviest. This top part is heavier than this. Don't know why. Anyway, I'll reserve my thoughts on that for Instagram, so keep your eyes peeled for that story. But I'm gonna finish up with our final product from Physicians Formula. This is the tinted lip treatment in the shade Love Bite, which looks like a shade that I would absolutely love. I'm curious to see how pigmented it is though. It's definitely a bit loose in the actual container, so I'm gonna be careful with how much I put on, but look how beautiful that is. It's like a balm, but it's very pigmented. Oh, that's so pretty. It's like a very muted cranberry red. It's a bit of a slippery formula, so I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of dab it in so it doesn't move around too much. It has almost like a shortbread smell to it. I don't know how to describe it. It's very familiar though. It's a very pretty lightweight lip color. Feels extremely comfortable, like a chapstick, like a lip balm. I'm assuming the intent is for this to be hydrating. Yes, hydrates and conditions lips for smooth, supple pout with a hint of color. I'd say that this is more than a hint of color. I don't know about the other ones, but I think it's beautiful, but definitely more than a hint of color. In fact, if you feel like the Kosas Sport lip products aren't pigmented enough for you, this would be a good alternative. It's also a very comfortable, easy way to wear a red lip. I'm just gonna take whatever's left over on my fingers, do another little layer of blush. I am starting to see that the blush has fully set now. My skin doesn't feel tight or dry, but when I'm, putting more product on top of it, it's not going anywhere. Gosh, I feel like I just created like a pretty good fall makeup look, which is perfect because it's September now. And of course I made like an absolute mess on the back of my hand, but I'll deal with that after. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about some of these new products, hearing about a more affordable brand, one that's maybe a little bit more accessible, both financially and just like location-wise. It's carried in a lot more places. If I can answer any questions for you guys, let me know. I will, as always, have everything that I mentioned linked down below. Also, let me know if you guys have any video suggestions, if you've been loving any videos recently. I think I'm going to be doing a what I eat in a day video because I got a beautiful set of new pots and pans that I'm very excited to talk to you guys about. So keep your eyes peeled for that, but definitely let me know what you've been enjoying. Also, I'm gonna make a huge effort to try and be online for the first hour that my videos go live so that I can actually interact with you guys. So if you leave a comment in that first hour, I will do my very best to get back to you, and that way we can kind of chat and connect, because I feel like it's been too long, and especially since we're all socializing from a distance these days, I'm excited to talk with you guys and catch up and hear everything that's going on. So I'll look forward to hearing from you. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye!